everyone, Trav here with Chaotic Strategies. I'm coming at you guys tonight with a phenomenal work in progress. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so that way you guys are always notified when I post new videos weekly. Today I have been working on, for about the last 2 weeks, a Noble Knight deck, trying to break an old school deck. A lot of the problems with the Noble Knights right now is that the Inferno Knights, a lot of them are still locked in the OCG, and that's, difficult. There's a lot of phenomenal OCG Inferno Knight decks out there, especially in the meta, that are just fantastic. The problem is, we don't have those cards here in the States yet, and I didn't want to make a OCG based deck. I wanted to keep it as TCG as possible. So what I'm going to show you guys is what I have as of right now. It works very well for the most part, but there's still a lot of tweaks and just some things I want to change around, especially some ratios. But this is what I have right now. So kicking right off into this, I'm running 2 copies of God Phoenix Gearfried, or Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. This card is fantastic. You can banish 1 equipped spell card on your field or graveyard, and then you can special summon this card from your hand. Then at the start of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can equip 1 face-up monster on the field to this card. You can only do this 1 time as an equipped spell that gives this card an additional 500 attack. And then when a monster effect is activated, it activates its quick effect. You can send 1 face-up equipped spell card you control to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And you can only use each effect once per turn. This card is amazing. He comes out heavy, 3,000, 2,200, and with Noble Knights utilizing a bunch of equipped spells, it just makes it so easy to get Immortal Gearfried out onto the field. Running 2 copies of Super Quantum Red Lair. This card's fantastic. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card, so it makes it very good coming out first turn. He's sitting at 2,000 attack, 800 defense. When this card is normal special summon, you can target 1 Super Quant in your graveyard, add it to your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Super Quant monster in your graveyard, except Red Lair, and special summon it, but it cannot activate its effects. This card is not in here for either one of those effects except for the special summoning. He's a level 5. Running tuners in here. I'll show you guys more as we get into this on why he's in the deck. I'm running 2 Noble Knight Gallons. The reason why he's in here is if you control a light normal monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in defense position, so I run 2 of him. I'm running 2 Noble Knight Medrot. He comes out as a normal level 4 light monster until he gets a Noble Arms equip card equipped to him. Then it becomes dark, he becomes a level 5, and then you can special summon another Noble Knight card from your deck onto the field, and he's kind of our main key player in this deck. Also running 2 Marauding Captains. Your opponent cannot target warrior monsters for attacks except this one, and when he's normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower monster from your hand. Running 3 Ash Blossom Joyous Springs. Now, not only am I using this card as, the go-to hand trap like we all do, but I'm also using this as a tuner. There's not a whole lot of decks that really utilize Ash Blossom as a tuner. A lot of people just focus on the hand trap, and I had that same problem, but this card as a tuner, not just a hand trap, really helps this deck out a lot. I'm running 2 Mecha Phantom Beast O-Lions. For our Infernal Noble Knights that we do have in the TCG, we only have 2 cards available to us right now in the TCG, but they are both very fantastic cards. So the first one, I run 2 copies of Flame Noble Knight Roland. You can target 1 face-up monster you control, equip this card from your hand to that target as an equip spell, and it gives that card an additional 500 attack. During the end phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, no matter how or what, if it was sent there, you can add 1 Fire Warrior monster except Inferno Knight Roland, or 1 equipped spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. To back him up, I'm using Inferno Knight Renaud If you control a Fire Warrior monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So even having Immortal Phoenix or Super Quant, those are both fires, and with Roland, no matter what we've got, as long as it's a fire, we can special summon this card from our hand. And if it's special summoned this way, it is a tuner. So you can only special summon it once per turn this way. If this card is special summoned, you can target one of your Fire Warrior monsters or one of your equipped spell cards that is banished or in the graveyard, except Renaud, and add it to your hand. And I'm running 2 copies of Jet Synchron. Going into the spells, I'm running 3 Heritage of the Chalice, so this pretty much just allows you to add 1 Noble Knight monster or 1 Noble Arms card from your deck or graveyard to your hand. If your Noble Knight monster equipped with a Noble Arms spell is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard while this one is in the graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. So I run 3 copies of that. One of my all-time favorite cards, I run 2 copies of Crossover. You can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls and 1 warrior monster you control and equip that opponent's face-up monster to your monster as an equip spell. And if you do, until the end of this turn, your opponent takes no damage from battles involving that monster you control. So you can only activate 1 crossover per turn, and while equipped, if the monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you destroy the equipped monster instead. This card is fantastic, helps out quite a bit when trying to break those big boards. Running 1 Upstart Goblin, which we all know, draw 1 card, your opponent gains 1,000 life. 1 Monster Reborn, 2 Called by the Grave. I also run 2 Glory of the Noble Knights, so you can target 1 Noble Knight monster you control, equip it with 1 equip spell from your deck that can equip to that target, and you can only activate this once per turn. Running 2 Noble Arms of Destiny, so while you control a Noble Arms of Destiny, equip only to a warrior monster. Once per turn, the equipped monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And just like all the Noble Arms cards, if it gets sent to the graveyard and you have another Noble Knight monster on the field, these come back out of the graveyard and reattach themselves to another Noble Knight. I'm running 2 Rainbow Veil. If the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster while that monster is on the field, its effects are negated during the battle phase only. 1 Noble Arms Gallatin. You can only control 1 Gallatin on the field. Again, equip only to a warrior monster. It gains 1,000 attack, and then during each of your standby phases, it loses 200 attack. Run in 2 Noble Arms Clarent. Again, equip only to a warrior monster. You can only control 1 Clarent on the board, and then once per turn you can pay 500 life points. The equipped monster can attack directly this turn. And last but not least, I run 2 Noble Arms Arf. You can only control 1 on the field, equipped to a warrior monster. Once per turn you can target 1 set card your opponent controls. The equipped monster loses exactly 500 attack, and if it does, destroy that target. The attack loss remains even if the card leaves the field or the monster becomes unaffected by card effects. So that's the main deck, 41 cards in the main deck. Going into the extra deck, running 1 High Speedroid Kite Drake. It requires 1 Wind Machine Tuner, which is going to be our O-line, and then 1+ non-tuner monsters. If this card is synchro summoned, you can activate 1 of these effects. You can choose to either destroy all other cards on the field, or you can choose to negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls. So, you know, once you synchro summon this card, it's essentially a Dark Ruler no more for the most part, except, you know, it is susceptible to negates. But if you work it all out right, this card's phenomenal. He hits the field at 3,000 attack and 2,800 defense. Just a fantastic card. I'm running 2 Borreload Savage Dragons. We should all know what Borreload Savage does, since he's really heavy in the meta right now. Once he's synchro summoned, he can equip a Link monster out of the graveyard to him. He gains tokens to their Link rating, and then once per turn you can take 1 token off of him to negate a card effect. I'm running 2 Ignoble Knight of the High Lansalin, 1 tuner, and then 1 or more non-tuner Noble Knight monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can equip 1 Noble Arms equipped spell card from your deck to this card, and then at the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed a monster by battle and sent it to the graveyard, you can add 1 Noble Knight or Noble Arms card from your deck to your hand. You can only control 1 Ignoble Knight of High Linsalin. Okay, I'm running 1 Sacred Noble Knight of King Artegris. He requires 2 level 5 Noble Knight monsters. When this card is Xyz summoned, you can target up to 3 Noble Arms equipped spell cards with different names in your graveyard. Equip those targets to this card. And then once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 other monster on the field and destroy that target. This card is sent from the field to the graveyard. You can target 1 level 4 or higher Noble Knight monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Running 1 Borolo Dragon, 1 Borosword Dragon, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 2 Isolde, 2 Tales of the Noble Knights, 2 Crystron Halki Fibrax, and 1 IP Masquerena. And then I'll show you guys here, I got some replay videos that I'll show at the end of the video that you guys can kind of see how these combos run together. For my side deck, I'm running 3 the Ring Dragon of Raw Sphere mode, 2 Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju, 2 Blue Flame Swordsman. He's in here because once per turn during either player's battle phase, you can target 1 other warrior monster you control. This card loses exactly 600, and if it does, that monster gains 600. And then when this card you control is destroyed by your opponent's card, by battle or card effect, and sent to your graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 fire warrior type monster in your graveyard, and special summon that target. Also running 2 Merlins, which helps a lot trying to get into your synchros and into your Xyz. You can normal summon him, then tribute him off to bring out a Noble Knight, and then you can run a small combo from there, and then you can actually hit Merlin out of the graveyard. You can banish him to either synchro summon 1 Noble Knight synchro monster, or you can banish him to Xyz summon 1 Noble Knight Xyz monster using monsters that you currently control on the field. Running 3 Dark Ruler No Mores. I have 1 Noble Arms Caliburn, and then 2 Infinite Impermanence as well, just for some extra negate power if I need it. And that's the deck for right now. That's what we have as the deck. So far, it's really good. So let me get into some replays here so that way I can show you guys exactly how this deck runs. Alrighty guys, and that is my video for my Noble Knight Inferno deck. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think might work really well in this deck to increase flow and consistency. If you guys would like to purchase this deck or purchase cards from this deck, I will leave a link down in the description box to TCG Player through my affiliate account link, where you guys can purchase all these cards if you so choose, and that comes at no extra cost to you. I hope you guys are being safe out there. Wash your hands, and we'll see you in the next video.